this isn't an inversion chart. So we're starting on the 6th, and we're going to do this for 4-string thing. 4-string thing there. Right here. Now we're not going to play that 6. We're looking for root, but root of E flat. Well, here's E, here's your flat. Okay? So we're going to go root, and then root, and then to 3. Now the 3rd of E flat is G. So it's right here. Where are we? Oh, sorry. I was somewhere else. Right here. We're going to go root, then to the open G, and then above root is the B flat. Okay, so remember, we've got to be hitting the right here. We go root, open G, then B flat. So remember, we're in the key of E flat now because we're in the open positions. Remember what happened on the guitar? C, key of A, key of G, key of E. Wait a minute, these notes are different. So these notes are also different, but we're using the same string shapes because we can take these shapes and move them up the fingerboard. Alright, so we've got, where are we at? I forgot where we're at, right here. So we've got root, 3, 5, and then root again. You see here we're not in a cage, so we can play those arpeggios. That's the E flat. Okay, I took a short break there. So we did the E flat part. The thing to remember is that these positions, okay, this GE positions, 4 strings up from there, root 3, 5, root 3, 5, these are very familiar positions for people who are skilled at cello, who are experienced, you know, have played cello for 10 years, you know, or less, or more. These are positions that I have to get familiar with, but what's going to happen with these positions is you can play them in one chord. So you have the root 5, 3 here, or the arpeggio, and then we go up to here, and this becomes the root 3, 5 of here, but this 5, C is the 5th of what? Of F. You see, so you can bring F down here, or you can play the C position up here. The D position would be here. So let's look at the D position again according to our chart here. I guess we're going to focus most of the lesson on this because the previous chart has a lot of good stuff, and really, if you want to cut to the chase, you know me, I have to stay with what I've done, right? I keep on trampling over my own attempt to explain something. This could make it a little easier. So we have covered the C position, which is here. Okay? The next position we went to was the A position, where I believe we were here. Okay, now remember, C is the 5th of F. Then we went to the G position, where C is the 6th. Remember, C is the lowest note on the cello. Lowest note on the cello. So this is the open position right here. They all become open positions. Okay, so right there, position bound chords. Okay, so, but we can move that up if we want to start that on the 6th. We can do our C triad from there. And then similarly, we have the E position where C is the root. We did that kind of already. And the D position where I guess you could say C is the 2nd of B flat. So let's before we get in trouble, let's go back to this. So C is the 2nd of B flat. There's D. Okay, low C is the second of a B flat major chord. So let's see if we can play that one. So what we're going to be doing here, let's just slow down so we don't get bugged about it. The color we're going to be using is the purple. Okay, now so we're going to be looking at these 4 strings. Now remember, we could start this on the cello from the 2 in the key of C. So we could just start it like this: 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, root 2. So it's Dorian. Yes, I'm looking at the notes because we want to play it and get it. Yes, I looked at the notes on the piano too. So just a little words of the wise. Now, if we want to move this cage down to the open, okay, we could say C is the second of what? Of B flat. Right? C is the second of B flat. So over here, C is the second of B flat. Right there. B flat major chord. So it's not the second of, you know, like in caged, E is the second of D, because E is the lowest note on the guitar. Okay, C is the lowest note on the cello. So C is the second of B flat. We'll just line this right back up. So now we're playing in B flat. Alright? Little thing. That's from ragtime, you know, pop, 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 you know. I love that stuff. There's the second of B flat. It's a minor, but we're not playing that Dorian minor. Alright, so Dorian would be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I did that with the knowledge of the string shapes. So we're playing in B flat there. I just did it. I did the, you know, but the point is, what is the triad over here? Sorry, in the B flat. What is the triad here? Here we are. Sorry, I was in the right place. The triad is going to be, well, the arpeggio would be 3, 5, root 3, 5, root 3. Okay, the triad we're looking at to identify the caged shape. Okay, the caged chord shape. Let's look at that. We have that on this chart. Do we have the caged chord shape on the chart? We should. Over here in the D. You know, this is why the charts are important. Now, a little word about the 4th and the 5th. Notice here we got 6, 7, root 2 right here, and then that moves down 6, 7, root 2, and it's up here 6, 7, root 2. So it's cascading down. When we move something down, we're going to the 4th of that string shape, of that cage perhaps. When we move something up, we're going to the 5th. We move to the right, we're going to the 4th. So 2, 3, 4, 5, it's 4th, the 4th of 2 is 6. It's a 5th actually in scale tones, but it's a fourth in string shapes. The fourth of D is G.